Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Weckel from 650 Group, and I'm joined by Sunil, VP of Cisco, working on the Nexus 9K. I've known Sunil for a very long period of time. He's kind of been building the Nexus up, and it's an exciting time here at Cisco Live, like a lot of new products, a lot of new software coming out.
That's right, Alan. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much. So multi-tenancy was a big topic of conversation. Can you just kind of dive in? Why multi-tenancy? Why now? Why is this a topic today?
This is a very top of mind for our customers, Alan. Increasingly, more and more number of our customers who are building out these AI fabrics are increasingly doing so for multiple tenants, whether it's neoclouds or sovereign AI clouds, service providers. Even within an enterprise, there is a need for creating multi-tenancy for different lines of business or even for different customers. Not only that though, there is a need to further segment within each tenant for data privacy and security reasons.
Yeah, we're absolutely seeing that, right? Inference, especially with mixture of experts. You don't want every expert to have the same policy or same access to that data, despite the fact, like in general, they're trying to give you the better answer or better solution.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not just GPU as a service, it's now at the expert level or at the model level.
Perfect, yeah. That's what we see.
Yeah, good. We're seeing the same thing. Let's dive in. What is Cisco doing? You made a couple announcements at Cisco Live. Obviously, you've been working on them for some time before that.
Yes.
What are you doing to kind of address multi-tenancy?
So we are looking at multi-tenancy as a multi-layered problem. So with Nexus 1 and what we announced today is a multi-tiered approach for solving multi-tenancy. Okay. The first level is at creating tenants, and we've been doing that for some time. So you can do that using, for example, concepts like VRF or L3 VNI if you're using VXLAN EVPN. This is already being done this way. But what we announced, and more importantly, is a patent pending idea with which we can further micro-segment within the tenant the AI resources required for each AI job. That is the groundbreaking innovation here that we announced this time.
Okay, so it's not just the tenant and it's not just the AI workload, it's going to be even further granular segmentation below that.
That's correct. Because the customers would, even though the departments may be same, but the data that is required for each job may not be shared across multiple jobs. So that is why there is a reason or there is a need for us to further microsegment based on each job.
Okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. For people who aren't quite like in the weeds, can you give like an actual customer example of what that unlocks?
So for customers, like for example, let's take a neocloud provider. They have to offer a GPU as a service. Or you take a big enterprise. They have to offer their AI infrastructure to their internal lines of business, right? But they have security requirements and they have compliance requirements so that the tenancy is maintained, but within the tenancy, the data is protected as per the compliance rules of that organization. So it's mostly for segmentation and mainly around the security.
Okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Can you talk a little bit about, you said patent pending, is this offer proprietary or is it built on standards? Is it more open?
Software itself is not proprietary. This is going to be built on top of IETF standards. If I have to go into a little bit of detail, this is built on top of VXLAN EVPN, and on top of VXLAN EVPN, we have created a standard for what we call endpoint security groups, or in VXLAN terminology called GPO. Basically, security group tags that get carried in the data plane. And we use the same concept, but we tie that security group concept to each job.
Okay, so the customers use VXLAN every day. This is just a natural extension of what they're doing. That's awesome because that will create a faster time to adoption.
Yes, In terms of operations, there would be no change in terms of how they operate the network, but there is good amount of automation needed. For example, if when an AI job is getting created, getting spun up, then what we require is to create a endpoint security group and then place all the GPUs that are going to be used for that particular job in that security group. Once you do that, then the data that is getting exchanged or the traffic that is going between these GPUs is very isolated, segmented from everything else. So that's how we can protect that particular AI job.
Yeah, and it's something thematically we heard throughout Cisco Live, right? It's protect down to the job level and know exactly very fine-tuned granularity, and then all the way up to like the solution level, the GPU, the server, the app. So kind of everywhere in between, and then kind of as a horizontal layer as well.
Yes. I mean, in this world of Mythos and other models that are coming up, security segmentation is really, really critical. And this is, again, one more innovation that addresses those main security and segmentation and compliance requirements.
So who benefits the most from this? Is it neoclouds? Is it enterprises? Is it all of the above? Because everyone's trying to get to the same goal.
Overall, I think it's all of the above. But immediately, probably the neoclouds benefit from it a lot because they are racing to create GPU as a service offers to their customers. So then they will have to create multi-tenancy for those customers, and they will have to do the micro-segmentation. I see neoclouds benefiting from that immediately, followed by sovereign AI clouds. And I'm very sure large enterprise also will benefit a lot from it because they will be serving their internal customers, and these internal customers would be different lines of business, different department. Still, there also there is a need for this kind of segmentation and isolation requirement.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you're looking at where people are going to be 6, 12 months in the future, and every customer is going to be on that journey. It's just a matter of when.
Yes. Actually, as we speak, as of today, we are developing this idea, we're co-developing this idea with a couple of our customers. So this requirement was brought to us from our customers, and they said, okay, so let's sit together, figure out how we do it. And so this is a good example of how we co-develop with our customers. And as soon as we develop this, this is going to be used by the customers immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it makes sense because if you have a customer who's a little bit further on their journey, they have a little bit more insight into what's going well, what's not going well. Like AI is at the frontier,
yes.
And then everyone can benefit from that. So you might have been co-developing with 2 or 3 customers, but all customers are going to benefit from this feature.
Yeah, absolutely. We look at this as a generic feature, but driven by some early adopter customers.
Okay,
let's say.
Got it. Can we talk a little bit about Rafe? And they were a launch partner for some of this. Why did you pick them? What did they bring to the market? What made you excited about that?
Sure. The multi-tenancy or multi-tiered multi-tenancy and micro-segmentation approach that I talked about, this can be exercised and implemented on the Nexus portfolio using open APIs. So it's pretty much available for everyone. Every orchestration vendor who is out there who can do this. But we are working with Rafe. They are the leaders in orchestration frameworks, and we are working with them for some of the customers, and hence the choice of Rafe to work closely on this one.
Okay. And what's going to set Cisco apart from your competition here? What have you done to kind of make this more differentiated?
So like I said, it is patent pending. So this is going to be a very innovative idea. The existing implementations are very ad hoc, manual, hodgepodge ACLs here and there to get to this kind of outcome, which are not scalable and sustainable, not dynamic enough. But I think this one, implementing on top of the standards-based VXLAN EVPN and implementing this in a standards way, I think is going to be really, really crucial and critical. And that is going to be the differentiator. And also, it is going to be very easy for good number of vendors for us to, it is going to be very easy for good number of vendors to integrate on top.
Absolutely. You mentioned a couple things there, and I think people forget that the human can't scale with these AI workloads. So not only does this kind of help with that regard, but then also if you are using kind of CLI or scripting, et cetera, that opened you up for vulnerabilities. Mythos was very common at the show.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you kind of have to take a new approach as well so that you can scale with the workloads and not have the human in the loop.
Exactly. And this requires us to do those integrations at the orchestration layer, integrations at the job scheduler layer. So we are working with the different ecosystem partners in this area, and REFA is one of them.
Perfect. All right, when is this going to be available? When can customers get their hands on it?
So we are targeting for a controlled availability by the end of the year.
Okay.
And the next year it will be general availability, but customers can start doing trials, and we expect to give this to customers by November timeframe.
Okay, and the customers you were co-developing with, I'm assuming really positive feedback here, like they're excited at what this is unlocking?
Absolutely. This is co-developing, so we are brainstorming the idea together and coming to a conclusion on how we implement this, and they are with us together on this while we develop this.
Okay, great. Let's talk security a little bit. How is security kind of infused here? You're probably thinking about it on a number of different levels, kind of vertically into the product.
Like I mentioned, the concept of multi-tenancy is not new. We implemented it all along. But the new thing here is taking that segmentation, taking that idea to the micro-segment level, and being able to do the segmentation and isolation for the traffic at each job level. That is the granular level of control that we are able to offer with this technology.
Yep, so job ID really to the job level, enterprises benefit, the neocloud sovereigns benefit, and really reducing the friction in AI adoption. So not only the ability to scale, but reducing how quickly it's going to take to get there.
Yes.
So Cisco's infusing security into job ID. We've heard throughout Cisco Live you're infusing security into silicon systems software. It feels like this is kind of like Cisco's philosophy to make sure that security runs throughout everything.
Yes. So you have seen throughout all the announcements at Cisco Live and in Keynote and every other place, our philosophy is to infuse security into each layer. The first principles that we generally talk about, the silicon system, software, and operating model. And this particular topic that we're discussing, the multi-tenancy and job ID-based segmentation, is just one more example of how we are infusing the security for our AI workloads.
Awesome, cool. Well, Sunil, thank you so much for spending the time with us today.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Weckel from 650 Group, and I'm joined by Sunil, VP of Cisco, working on the Nexus 9K. I've known Sunil for a very long period of time. He's kind of been building the Nexus up, and it's an exciting time here at Cisco Live, like a lot of new products, a lot of new software coming out.